overwhelmingly bright. Okay, we're gonna do a quick tour. They probably won't end up being that quick because I don't think I've done much of a tour since midsummer, and it's now December 3rd. Happy full moon day. Here's the tree that we cut that had been in the way of the view, and I've just used many of its branches to create little retainer walls. So this one you can see pretty clearly even with the light. I also put, apparently that someone lost a snow shovel down here, you know, a decade ago. And so I also put, that's a snow shovel lip in there and a little rock at the bottom. But these are here to catch the topsoil that continues to slide off the hill, and I'm hoping to build a whole lot more. Now, no, they're not permanent, obviously. Those are just sticks and T-posts. But my idea here is that if I can get enough soil to stay put while I plant retention plants, I won't need then to continue to have these hyper-invasive vines covering the hill and preventing me from using this hill for extended agriculture. So once the root systems are developed, then the deterioration of this wall shouldn't matter as much. And I'm going to continue to take trees like this and the sticks that they put off. I didn't cut this one, for example. The sticks that they put off as they're dealing with the fact that they've been cut the way they have, I will use as the supports in more and more of these things. So I got this idea kind of by accident, I guess. And the ones that I did last year were for the plants that I planted down here, and 50% of the Cliffside plants are doing great. The other half are either I can't find any sign of them, or I don't think they made them. So that's 2 out of 4 down here. Not bad. Everything else made it. Out of, I guess, 12 plants? Yeah, I think 12 plants. So for example, if I can get down there, I'm going to take these twigs, and I'm going to cut this, and this one coming up here, and I'm going to use all of these in order to support the hillside and stop this continued sloughing off of soil. I do believe that the falling of this portion of the tree has stopped a very major current of soil that was just like street runoff going straight down off the cliff, and it was creating quite the gully that was continually digging away at the hill. So we do want to keep our hill. I'd like to keep it as far away from my house as it currently is. You can see my house. I don't want it to get any closer to my house. It's not particularly close, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. So here's a major failure that we had with this, and that I need to remedy, is that when I cut this second branch, it fell in a way that's bridged up over the lower portion. I feel that if I were able to cut this support, it might fall the rest of the way, or it may become more treacherous. It's really hard to say what would happen, but my idea here is that I'm just not going to go underneath it for a while. That pawpaw down there can fend for itself. I have way over here, in the glare of the sunlight, we'll go closer, I guess. I have where one hawthorn was, and down there I have not, why do I keep saying hawthorn? Hazelnut. There is a wild growing hawthorn down here. It's really just a naked twig at this point because everything's dormant. But I won't be able to get to the hawthorn either because it's somewhere too close to this that fell. So we may as well go take a look at where the one hawthorn used to be. As you can see, this is getting a little bit easier to traverse because I'm allowing some of the dirt to fall into this catchment. but I still don't want to step in a way that would be close to what I've built there. So over here you can see I built one out of old stumps holding up these twigs. So of course that's going to be very much more stable than a T-post, but that's okay. And down there I used tires. And I can clearly see a little bundle of twigs right here. And that is my hazelnut. And then up here, I cannot clearly see anything still growing. So I'm not sure if there's still a hazelnut in this or not. It appears that something may have been sleeping here for a while because the soil's a little more compacted than I would expect for just a catchment. So this rock held well many of the other quote-unquote steps that I built by notching rocks back into the soil. I've pretty much just been catching dirt on top of them and aren't too useful, so I think I need to continue to do this retainer wall stuff all along. Here would be a good place for one, in between two living trees. Yeah, so another really neat thing that seems to have happened down here that I just noticed this year, we'll see if we can find one with berries, is that a goji berry, or wolfberry, or Christmas berry, depending on which region you're in and what you were raised calling them, but they're very commonly known as goji berries now. They're all over the hillside, and I wouldn't have noticed if they hadn't started putting out berries recently. So here's one that's not quite ripe. I just saw it. You see that? And then it's got spines, which is indicative, and here's one that's fully ripe. And I find this quite exciting because now that I know what that plant is, I see one here, and here, and there were just two over, well, all of this, I see a bunch of berries over here. Let's go look at this. So I have to come and check the flowers in the spring to be 100% sure. Like here's this coming out of here, all of those greens. And then over here, this whole branch is just covered in berries. So somehow, these have naturalized down here, and I am excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So this is good. Oh, they're going up and over there. Maybe it's from the neighbor. Because they're a lot more frequent over there. They're a lot more mature and entangled over there. I bet you they eat them. And I bet you there was some in the compost. I bet that's what happened. That's too cool. So, I'll take it. Because they seem to be holding up the soil pretty well, too. I'll take them everywhere they'll go. They do have thorns, but the thorns don't seem to develop until it's older wood. Oh, here goes a train, look. Train, 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 train. Train, 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 train. And they're everywhere. So that's awesome. I'm very happy with that. So I think this is about as far down as I'm going to go. For reference, in case you're worried, way over there. Way over there. That there is the start of that fallen branch. So I am not only still laterally above it, but I am nowhere near it. And until I can get it on the ground, I'm not going under that. No way. So, oh, and the hawthorn is this right here. That was pre-existing on this land. I would not have planted it. It has thorns like, oh my goodness, no thank you kind of thorns. And then right here, I still don't know if you can tell, that is the hazelnut. that I just planted in a retainer wall of tires on top of living trees. Yeah, that's how this world works down here. So yeah, I'm really hoping to continue to use the branches in order to retain the hillside while continuing to maintain my view by reducing upward reaching branches that are blocking it. So that's my whole big idea here. Should be pretty cool. And happy December 3rd of 2017. It's incredibly warm. I came down and did the cliff because I tried to do the upper garden and the neighbors came around and we started chatting. Oh, see, there's another tire that I brought down to make it into a retainer wall, and it just didn't really work out. So I think this spacing right here is going to be the next thing I do, since I'm out of T-posts. As soon as I have T-posts, the other work is easier. It's a lot easier. So yeah, there's another maple that needs cut back. But you can see there's a lot of sticks to be had. Like this branching here, I'd like to cut back. And this is the beautiful old oak that needs rescued from the ivy yet again. I don't want that ivy to kill it, but the neighbors let the ivy get down over the hill, so something's gonna go wrong eventually about that. I don't want English ivy over my cliffside. It's too beautiful with all the natives. Oh, and I'm gonna put a couple of pawpaw up there. That's part of the plan. And I found the gopher hole. Where they go under the shed from this side. It's huge. It wasn't there in the spring, so I don't know when that arrived. But it's like right up past all of these brambles. So yeah, and the other thing I could do is get my rope back before I start destabilizing this again. But we'll see. Train's gone. The river's still there though. Imagine that. Yeah. So. Oh, and without the glare, we could take a look at the retainers from this angle so that you can get a better... Oh, this is hard to traverse still. Ugh. So you can get a better look at it without, like, the sun attacking your eyeballs. This is already catching a ton of dirt. I want to do another one down there. Probably make that little bundle of twigs the end of it. Yeah, it's good stuff. I am excited. Oh, that whole thing's dead. But it has side branches that can be cut. Yeah, I'm very happy with what's going on down here. Hooray. Oh, geez. I'm going to use my snippers to get rid of more of these berries. The Asian bittersweet. All bittersweet is toxic. It's generally grown because it's pretty. But the Asian bittersweet is incredibly invasive. And this hedge is covered in seed. Oh my goodness. I see so much more seed up there than I do down here. Ugh. So yeah, that's the idea, is to be able to plant natives and food crops into these little 2-foot tall ledges and hope that their roots fill in well enough that once this deteriorates, the hillside will have a lot of support without a whole lot of disruptive plants needed. Whoop, I'm slipping. You see, it's not super stable. Alright. Pretty. Bye.